Lost on Thanksgiving, Detroit won on Thanksgiving Day. Now, for the Arizona Cardinals, Atlanta is winning right now, so Arizona must win today to get back in the playoff picture. This is a vital game for the Arizona Cardinals, and a pleasant good afternoon with Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan. Arizona has scored the fewest points of any team in the NFL. Chicago, one of the more conservative offenses you'll find in the league. And Jerry, with that in mind, what do you expect today?
We're going to have a great ball game. Stay tuned. Don't leave your couch, because this is body bags. This is not for women and children. There's going to be great hitting in this game. If you want to see contact, stay tuned.
A lot of defense. You know, the story in Chicago, aside from their team being tied for first place with Minnesota in the Central, has been their great starting quarterback, Steve Walsh. As a starter for Chicago, 6-0. Is he the story there?
He's been able to beat the zone. Everybody's really impressed. He's 6-0, can throw against the zone, can hit the flat. Today, he's going to have a man in his face blitzing, and he's going to have man-to-man coverage. He's going to have to throw it downtown.
You're talking about defense, you're talking about Buddy Ryan. You know, the Cardinals began 1-4, stumbling out of the blocks. Since that time, though, they have won 4 of 6. So they are talking Buddy Ryan. They are talking playoffs here in the Valley of the Sun.
They win this game, and they can win the rest of them. This is their playoff game. Buddy Ryan has to win today. The rest of all of his opponents only have 10 wins. This is the biggest game for them.
Gardocki is set to kick off for the Chicago Bears, and deep back will be Chuck Levy along with wide receiver Bryant Reeves, and we are underway in Phoenix. Levy, second-round pick from the 15-yard line. And he works his way out to about the 29. So Phoenix begins things with their quarterback, Jay Schroeder. Started for 8 years with Washington with the Los Angeles Raiders. He was let go by Cincinnati in early September, signed with Arizona, his 4th start today for the Arizona Cardinals. Well, last week their offensive line looked like this, with Louis Sharp starting at left tackle and Coleman at the right guard. Now they've got some switching because Sharp is out with a knee injury. Coleman moves to the left tackle with Dye, Cunningham, Anthony Redmond, the rookie, and then they finish off on the line. The backs Moore and centers, receivers Clark and Prohl, and Derek Ware is the Arizona tight end. It'll be first down and 10 for Schroeder at his own 29. And the handoff goes to Ronald Moore. 1,000-yard gainer a season ago, and the Chicago defense was there to stop him. Last week, that Chicago defense held Barry Sanders to 42 yards. Rushing defense has improved. Alonzo Spellman on the line has had 2 sacks the last 2 weeks, with Zorich, Carl Simpson playing better, and Trace Armstrong with 4 sacks. Linebacking core, Kane leads them all in tackles with Dante Jones and Vincent Smith. And the secondary, the number 2 rated pass defense in the NFL, Lincoln Carrier Gale, who played for Buddy Ryan, and Donnell Wolford. It is second down and 10 for the Arizona Cardinals. And once again, Ronald Moore, the converted college wide receiver, works his way out to the 34 and picks up 5 yards. It'll be third down and about 6 with Sean Gale making the stop.
They're starting off in a slot formation both times. They're just pecking away. What they like to do is run the ball, and a lot of people believe the team that wins this game will have the most rushes, not the most yardage, the most rushing attempts. Not real good on third down because they get a lot of third and longs.
Right now they got third and about 5.5. 4 wide receivers for the Cardinals, and Larry Centers is flanking Schroeder in the shotgun. Schroeder. Pass was intended for Ricky Prohl. Incomplete. 3 and out for the Arizona Cardinals.
4 wide receivers in the shotgun. And again, the third, if you got to stay at over 5 yards, they're hard to convert all the time. He had a man open and made a bad pass.
Jeff Fiegels will be punting for the Arizona Cardinals, averaging about 41 yards per punt. Deep back, they've got wide receiver Jeff Graham will be starting again today. He has been one of the great stories in the Chicago wide receiving core this season. And the punt by Fiegels. Graham's going to have some room on the 29. He's out to the 41-yard line and tackled on the play by Chad Phan. That's a punt of 39 yards and a return of 14 now for the Chicago offense. Steve Walsh, 6-0 as a Chicago starter. Sensational last week against Detroit. threw for 80%. One reason why, the offensive line. And they have played well with Heck, Bortz, Fontenot, Jay Lewenberg. Big Cat James Williams at the right tackle has improved as any offensive lineman in the league. They open up holes for Lewis Tillman, who had 126 last week with Harris in the backfield. McMurtry and Graham starting again. Mark Cook is the tight end. Curtis Conway will miss another game for Chicago. On 1st and 10, Raymond Harris, the 4th-round pick out of Ohio State, digs his way for 5 with Eric Hill and Seth Joyner making the stop. The Cardinal defense is number 2 in the National Football League. On that line, Bankston and Swan, the rising stars. Simmons, the former Eagle, now playing very, very well. Wilson on there as well for that line. Wilbur Marshall, Eric Hill, and Seth Joyner in the linebacking core for the Cardinals. And in the secondary, Alexander, Hogue, Lorenzo Lynch, and Aeneas Williams. It's 2nd down and 5 for Chicago. Steve Walsh for his first pass today. Caught by Jeff Graham, who has caught a pass in every Chicago game this year, and Walsh is 1 of 1 out of the blocks.
Unusual. Brent Alexander is a rookie at the right corner, and he's lost a little confidence. A lot of players said he was as good as anybody when they started, but when you give up plays, he was playing off. He was 7 yards off, which is not what they'll do at the other corner. At the other corner, Aeneas will be all over the receiver.
Aeneas Williams is one of the top interceptors in the NFL. That's who Walsh studies now with the 1st and 10. And the handoff to Lewis Tillman, former New York Giant, thrown back, and Bernard Wilson from the defensive line is there to wrap him up.
A penetrating defensive line. They will attack the line of scrimmage, make it hard to run. Again, that time they did not audible to the pass, but you have your left corner, Aeneas Williams, in a full press bump and run, and you have the rookie right corner, Brent Alexander, off 7-8 yards. So that could be a key as to what the quarterback's going to try to do for this ball game.
You just saw Bernard Wilson leave. Coming in, Keith McCants brought in to pressure the quarterbacks like Steve Walsh. And here's a 2nd down and 11. Second throw for Walsh. And again on the money. And again, it's to wide receiver Jeff Graham, the leading receiver. And he's out to about the 40. Flag thrown back where Walsh was throwing at the 43.
An all-out blitz. Nothing new for Arizona.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 58. 15 yards. 1st down.
58 is Eric Hill on the linebacking core for Buddy Ryan.
And having a good year. Now watch this corner. This corner's way off. Here's Aeneas. He's up in the full press. They're all going to run a blitz to that side, but he's going to go after this rookie. The rookie's off 8-9 yards in the shuffle. That's going to be like stealing.
And then the late hit on Steve Walsh.
Cannot take more than 1 step after the ball comes out of the quarterback's hand.
Cardinals, the 2nd most penalized team in the NFL.
Foolish penalties. I like what Chicago's doing. Their plan is forget Aeneas. Let's go after that rookie corner, Brent Alexander, and that's what they're doing.
With the penalty, the Chicago Bears have it 1st and 10 from the Cardinal 25. Raymond Harris in the backfield. And Harris gets the call. To the 21. The entire line and linebacking core had a hand in that one. What impressed you most, Jerry, about last week and what Chicago did to the Detroit Lions?
Taking the ball out of Detroit's hand, and they're going to try that again today. What they got to do today is keep rushing the football, even if they're not gaining yards. Don't give up on running. You have to run so this defensive team for Arizona doesn't make big plays on you.
2nd down and 6 for Chicago. Walsh to put it up. Raymond Harris played well by Wilbur Marshall, the former Chicago Bear. That'll bring up 3rd down with the loss of a couple on the play.
Pressure on the quarterback. That's what the Cardinals are all about. Watch the pressure that he'll receive. People will be coming after him all the time. There's Clyde Simmons running in. You have to get rid of the ball, and then they will run, hustle, and hit.
Last week on 3rd down, Chicago was 13 of 18. Now they've got it 3rd down and 8. 4 wide receivers for Steve Walsh. And they're blitzing at him. Walsh intercepted by Aeneas Williams. His 7th interception of the season.
Pressure on the quarterback, and stay away from Aeneas Williams. He's as good a bump and run corner as there is in the league. Watch the pressure on the quarterback. Here's your quarterback, and we said he was staying away from Aeneas. Instantly, people are all over him.
Keith McCants got in the face of Walsh.
Keith McCants, they got him from Tampa. He's there right away. Did the quick charge to the outside. Stay away from Aeneas. Get back after that rookie.
So now the Cardinals with their 2nd possession, 1st down and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Schrader to go right to work. He's got a 1st down to his wide receiver, Gary Clark. A very familiar sight. Gain of 11 on the play. It was Schrader and Clark with the Washington Redskins.
He likes having a guy that he's throwing the ball to. He says he looks downfield and sees what he saw for years. Now, let me tell you, that throw was a frozen rope. That ball was on the line. That ball had RPMs.
And 68. Half a distance to the goal. Still.
There was a chop block by the tight end 85 Derek Ware and by the right tackle 68 Joe Wolf. So the Cardinals are assessed their 2nd penalty, and Jerry, again, a very costly one.
Once the linemen are engaged in a pass, no back, no other lineman, no tight end can come in and hit below the waist. You can double protect, but not chopping below the waist once he's engaged.
You can see how different these two teams are in terms of penalties, too. Arizona the 2nd most and Chicago the 2nd least. With the penalty, 1st down and 23 for the Arizona Cardinals. Tight end is in motion, Terry Sanders. And the handoff, Ronald Moore, leading rusher on the team, wrapped up by middle linebacker Dante Jones.
Try a little wham block. You saw the guy in motion. Remember, a wham is when the motion man is trying to block a down lineman. And he came in there and tried to wham him. Again, they'll be conservative. They'll run. Talking about the Cardinals before they go throwing that football.
Cardinals last week, no touchdowns, but a win. 12-6 over the Philadelphia Eagles. In Chicago last week, led by Chris Zorich, had a nice 20-10 win over the Detroit Lions. 2nd down and 21. Jay Schrader almost picked off and incomplete. Donnell Wolford just about has had his interception. He's already got 3 this season, having an all-pro year, in the words of head coach Wannstedt.
Now Wolford is playing big-time football. He's been playing that for a couple of years. He'll be at the right of your screen. He's in a back pedal. Now he'll drive, come up underneath, try to pick that thing off away from Ricky Prohl.
Now 3rd and 21. That Chicago defense digging in. 4 wide receivers for the Cardinals. 9 situation in the secondary for the Chicago Bears. Schrader dropped far side and intended for wide receiver Gary Clark. So 2 possessions and 2 punts for the Arizona Cardinals.
They have what they call G routes, which lets him make his moves, do what he has to do. But after 14 yards, when you make the break, I'll throw the ball. That's the quarterback and Gary. Should have had that. Still would not have been a 1st down, but it would have been in better field position for the punt.
2nd punt by Jeff Fiegels, off to Jeff Graham, back for his 2nd time today. No score here in the 1st quarter from Phoenix. Great punt. Graham had room to go, too, but he backpedals to the 38, and Chicago will get their 2nd possession of the day. 47-yard punt. So Dave Wannstedt trying to hold on to his share of 1st place in the Central against Buddy Ryan, just trying to get in the playoffs. Well, these two teams have the oldest rivalry in the NFL, not the oldest continuous rivalry. That's Green Bay and Chicago, back when the Chicago Cardinals took on the Decatur Staleys in the early 1920s. This series began. These teams last met in 1990, and on 1st and 10. Handoff to Lewis Tillman. Tillman digs his way for 11 yards to the 49 and a first down. Wrapped up by Lorenzo Lynch.
A rookie out of Ohio State that's been a tailback is going to go into motion, come over here, and make the crucial block. Raymond Harris has changed the Chicago Bears. There he is, making an excellent block on Michael Bankston. Popping Lewis Tillman. Nice block.
First down, 10 yards to go. And the handoff. Raymond Harris for a couple yards. Jerry, this is a very blitz-conscious defense. How do they go ahead and read an offense when they decide who's going to blitz, when they're going to blitz, and where? If
you really don't move from your couch and you watch, the linebacker, Eric Hill, they'll call the blitzes and the stunts by where the Chicago Bears line up. So they're not calling them in the huddle. In the huddle, they'll say automatic. At the line, they'll make the calls.
But they'll be watching the Chicago running back.
Absolutely. Terry Hogan, the secondary, and Eric Hill up front.
Second down and 7. Raymond Harris. And brought down by Wilbur Marshall, number 55. This is a very good defense. Arizona ranked number 2 in the NFL, just in back of Dallas. But Chicago right in back of them at number 8. So 2 very strong defenses, as you said, to open up our show.
And what helps defenses is ball control offenses. And both of these offenses for the last 5 weeks have controlled the clock. Raymond Harris is going to be the key in how he runs today in the one-back set.
Third down and 1. And Walsh to go to the air. First down reception made by Jeff Graham as he spins his way to the Arizona 25. His third catch today, pickup of 17 on the best third down defense in the NFL.
The motion, he'll have to signal to the rookie. You got the motion, man. They're trying to figure out who's covering who. And they're trying what's called a banjo. A banjo is your man-to-man, but you take what breaks to your area. And they busted the coverage, and a good job by the Chicago coaching staff, a good game plan. The motion made him lose the receiver.
Graham has 3 catches already today. First down and 10. Bears at the 25. Walsh looking deep and incomplete. I don't know, Jerry, if he just threw that away or if the wrong route was run.
You're on target. He was going to throw the halfback in the flat off the bootleg. It was covered. It was smothered. They will take away the short route. He didn't hesitate. He didn't like it. He threw it up in the nickel seats.
Atlanta on top of Philadelphia 28-21. Atlanta at 5-6. Arizona at 5-6. So that game of paramount importance, as is this game. Minnesota and Chicago are tied atop the NFC Central. Miami beating the Jets today. First time Miami's won New York in a while. Handoff. Raymond Harris. Raymond Harris close to a first down to the Arizona 16-yard line. The right guard, Jay Lewinberg, threw a whale of a block.
He is, again, the single back set. Here's Raymond Harris. The guards are going to pull and block outside. That's the key. The down block by the tackle. There's Jay turning out the outside backer. And again, the coach told us last night, Raymond Harris has to run. Wanstead said in the single back, and we can keep the ball.
And he's playing a new position, too, like you said. Third down and 1 for Chicago. Last time they were down here, Walsh threw an interception. This time to Tillman. Tillman will be close. Seth Joyner makes the stop. Leading Philadelphia Eagle tackler a season ago, Michael Bankston gave a helping hand. And Lewis Tillman, who's one of the best third down running backs in the NFL, last week against Detroit made 5 first down possession runs and catches. Mark Bortz is on the sideline.
He's been doing a great job for the Bears. In fact, last week he got the only holding penalty. The Bears' offensive line have had 1 holding penalty for the whole year, and that was last week by Mark. And I question that call, the way he just hooked around the shoe. Looks like he got a sore right knee.
Sprained right knee out for the game. Chicago does pick up the first down on the Tillman run. Tom Perry is taking the place at right guard. And Raymond Harris to the 10. So some changes in that Chicago offensive line, Jerry, which has not seen a lot of change this season.
I think one reason they've been so good, and last week the Chicago Bear offensive line dominated the whole game, is they haven't had any changes, hadn't had new people in there. Now they got to come in there with a brand new player, Perry. Perry's going to replace Mark Bortz at the left guard.
So Bortz, one of those old warriors on that line, is out. 2nd down and 5. No score, late first quarter. Raymond Harris to the 6 and about a yard shy of a first down. Tackled by Eric Swan.
Remember, the Cardinals defense is attacking and coming through gaps. So what Chicago has changed from last week, they're attacking them right back with quick hitters, straight ahead blocking, and even when they're in the eye, the up guys getting the ball instantly. That's different, but it's a very intelligent game plan.
Long drive by Chicago. They had drives last week of 15, 16, and 20 yards, holding it 44 minutes against the Lions. By the way, the Cardinals have not given up a touchdown in 7 quarters. 3rd down and 1. Bob Christian. Very close. May have nudged the ball inside the 5. Eric Hill stood him up and brought him down.
Bob Christian comes in ordinarily to block in the I formation. He's quick, so he's going to get it first man through. First man through. They're trying to attack just like the defense is. Eric Hill stepped right up in the hole.
They didn't get the first down, but they're going to go for it on 4th and inches. They need to get to about the 4.5. They now sit at the 5. Gutsy call.
I think 3 points maybe could have won this. We said earlier the guy with the best goalie may win the game.
Walsh got it on the quarterback keeper to the 4. Well, he's run the offense. He's orchestrated every movement of it, so why not get the first down for Dave Wannstedt?
I saw Lorenzo Lynch dive in the pile like there was a fumble. When the whole play was over, their strong safety went after the football.
Jerry, you said something interesting before. Time possession really is the Chicago offense, isn't it?
That really makes your defensive stats come up, and that's exactly what the Cardinals do. Both of these teams' offense is designed to take the clock, steal the clock.
First down goal to go for the Chicago Bears at the 4. They've had it. Chicago has almost 6.5 minutes on this drive. Tillman and Harris in the eye. Lewis Tillman near the 1. Eric Hill, leading tackler for the Buddy Ryan 46 defense, makes the stop.
Greg McMurtry is the wideout. He's going to come in motion, going to come from the left of the screen. He's going to help on the run. He's going to cut the man off this side so there's nobody chasing behind the tackle. You'd see how he has him. He has Wilbur Marshall is not involved in the play because of the wideout getting involved in the inside running game.
First quarter clock is now passing 50 seconds. 3 tight ends for the Chicago Bears. 2nd down and goal. Ryan Wetnight is 89. Walsh. Wetnight. Touchdown Chicago Bears. It was tipped by former Eagle linebacker Seth Joyner into the hands of Ryan Wetnight. The Chicago tight ends have caught more passes in the end zone than any other tight end group in the NFL.
Fake it to Tillman. You can see Seth's in trouble, but he gets his left hand on it, and a great catch by the tight end. That's a heck of a catch by Wetnight.
Holding Gardocki for Kevin Butler. After a 13-play Chicago drive. And that is the first touchdown given up by the Philadelphia Cardinal defense in almost 8 quarters. 7-0 Chicago. Arizona defense, the first touchdown that defense has given up in almost 8 quarters. And Ryan Wetnight caught the deflected touchdown pass. A long drive of 13 plays. 5 of the last 6 Chicago scoring drives have gone 10 or more plays. Again, what Jerry said before, time of possession is the Chicago offense. This is Chuck Levy at about the 15. Former Arizona running back out to the 31. Make it the 32. Tackle made by John Mangum, 5th-year player from Alabama. Cardinals on the board, leading Rather, Chicago on the top, 7-0.
His daddy played for the Boston Patriots. A young man, he's running the next. Chase the ball, come on down. Watch the hit on the kickoff coverage. He does this each and every Sunday.
Here's the third possession now for the Arizona Cardinals. Now the handoff to Larry Centers. He's turned all over the place and knocked down. Sean Gale makes the stop in the secondary for the Chicago Bears. 2 possessions and 2 punts so far for Jay Schroeder. What's the book on Schroeder?
Schroeder wins. I think a lot of people knock him. I think he's a great person, and I think he has a good, strong arm. And then you hear he can't do this, he can't do that, and you look down on his record, and he's a winner.
Well, we've come to the end of the first quarter for Dave Wannstedt and his Chicago Bears. They got a touchdown pass to the tight end, and they lead the Cardinals 7-0. Here in Phoenix, Arizona, of their hometown Cardinals. Chicago's on top, 7-0 over the Arizona Cardinals, and Buddy Ryan right now down by 7, Jerry, with 1 quarter gone.
And his offense is not designed to come from behind. They're designed to run, take the clock.
Second down made for Jay Schroeder. First play of the second quarter. In the backfield, Ronald Moore is tripped up by Alonzo Spillman. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. James?
Kevin, what a game in Minnesota. The Bucs were up by 9, under 2 to play. Looked like they were breaking a 6-game losing streak until Warren Moon goes 40 yards to Qadry Ismail. Minnesota down by 2 now. Warren Moon finds Chris Carter. We're all tied at 17-all. It's in OT at 17. Back to Arizona, Kevin and Jerry.
All right, James, thank you. And what a comeback by Warren Moon. We've seen it before in New Orleans game a couple weeks ago up at the Metrodome.
Gave him about a minute and a half. That's all he needed to come back and win the game. The Bears lined up in the neutral zone, were penalized. It was a real good play by Alonzo Spillman. They did not say which Bear was illegal, but they caught one of them.
That's the first penalty on the Chicago Bears today. Second down and 3 now for the Cardinals. Down 7-0. And the ball carrier again, Ronald Moore. And he is close to a first down as Albert Fontenot, who's the best defensive lineman, and Spillman are there making the stop. Well, Atlanta has won today, and for the Arizona Cardinals, that is key because Atlanta and Arizona coming into today were tied at 5 and 6. Now Atlanta is 6 and 6 with both Detroit and Green Bay. So now things are really getting cluttered in that NFC wild card playoff picture.
Well, the fun of it, I think a lot of cities are going to be right in it to the last week. But for Buddy Ryan in Arizona to stay in it, they got to have a win today.
Well, they just picked up their first down on the Chicago defense. Schroeder has it 1st and 10. And he'll go back to throw. Schroeder, first down reception made. Ricky Prohl, the leading wide receiver. A nice pass of 12 yards on the pickup.
Here's a blitz. The Bears decided they're going to go after the quarterback, and we're man-to-man, bump and run on the outside. And Schroeder does have the gun. Had the man in the flat if he wanted that too, but he had the deep out to Ricky. Nice throw, nice catch.
Schroeder is taking the place of the injured Steve Perline, who will be back in a couple weeks, they say, but Schroeder as a starter is 2-1, so he's playing well. First down and 10. And the call to Larry Centers. Larry Centers picks up 8 to the Chicago 38-yard line. Alonzo Spillman got him from behind.
The Bears know what the Cardinals want to do, so they walk the safety up. This is the free safety because the backs are weak, the free safety's weak, and what he does is bends it all the way back strong and almost gets away.
So the Cardinals gave the feeling going right, but instead they go left.
The back did a good job of going where he wasn't supposed to.
Now they got a 2nd down and 2. Chicago on top, 7-0 on a touchdown pass to the tight end, Ryan Wetnight. Schroeder with the little play action. He's got the first down reception to the leading receiver, running back Larry Centers, tackled by Joe Kane. The
Bears scouting report, the free safety is standing to the right. He's waiting for the back in the flat. There's Joe Kane. There's 23, the safety sitting right there. Sean Gale, play action, and he hits the back. Whenever the backs are weak, the free safety, Sean Gale, is walking up weak.
It's like they're opening up this offense just a bit. They've been criticized for being too conservative.
I think he maybe has more confidence in this quarterback than he did the other ones. Plus, he's behind.
Exactly. First down and 10. And the first carry today by the former Eagle and the former Miami Dolphin, Mark Higgs, to the 32 and a pickup of 1. Chris Zorich makes the stop. They just picked him up last week, carried about 9 times against Philadelphia, but Buddy Ryan had him in Philadelphia when he coached the Eagles, so he thought he'd bring him here to Arizona.
Buddy's buddies. Buddy Ryan's the type of coach that's going to bring people that he's been with before, that believe in him, that have loyalty. He'll always go get a player that helped him win on another job. That's not unusual for all coaches in the National Football League.
He's looking for a lot of loyalty now. Second down and 8. We are early in the second quarter from Phoenix. Schrader, and a little bit high to his old running mate with the Redskins, Gary Clark. Incomplete pass. We talked before, there are 6 former Eagles on this Arizona team, and then you include the former Chicago Bear Wilbur Marshall. 7 former Ryan players here with him in the Valley of the Sun.
These people will be loyal to Buddy. He has 2 of his sons are coaching for him on the staff. He's got loyalty there. You go get the players and that. So if somebody in the locker room says, Buddy, I don't like Buddy, I don't like what we're doing, there's a quarterback. His job is to be sure nobody criticizes the plan. So he brings in loyal people with him and tries to make it work in a hurry.
Yeah, Buddy's had Jim McMahon at both Chicago and Philadelphia. There's one of his sons right there. Timeout taken. So we'll pause as well. The clock at 11:23 in the second quarter of play. Cardinals are moving. They trail Chicago 7-0. From the Chicago 31 right now, Jay Schrader in the number 27 offense in the NFL with a 3rd down and 8 to go. And Schrader is in the gun. Larry centers. He needs to get to the 23. He gets to the 33. Literally no gain. Maurice Douglas, who's having an all-pro season, made the stop. Also having an all-pro season back at our Hollywood studios, James Brown. James?
Thank you, Kevin. A special team snafu by Minnesota helped Tampa Bay snap a 6-game losing streak by virtue of that 22-yarder by Michael Husted. Tampa Bay wins it by 3. Back to Kevin.
So the Chicago Bears are alone in first place by a half game as of right now. Greg Davis, who kicked 4 field goals last week, will try a 49-yarder right here. He's got the distance from 49 yards. Davis is good. 4 field goals last week to beat Philadelphia. And the Cardinals are on the board for the first time. Davis having a tremendous season for the Arizona Cardinals. 7-3 Chicago. Breeze, very little breeze. Chicago on top 7-3. Cardinals just got a 49-yard field goal from Greg Davis. Pretty good drive put together by the Cardinal offense. They too have to hold the ball to be successful, much like Chicago's offense. Time possession is the key. Nate Lewis from the 9. The fake reverse to Wolford. Lewis still on his feet to the 25. Flag thrown on the play. Tackle made by Brian Reeves. Jerry Austin is our referee today. And the penalty flag is against the Cardinals. That is the 3rd penalty against the 2nd most penalized team in the NFL.
Little key breaker that time. They had Wolford in on the kickoff return, which usually means a reverse, and I think they faked the reverse and took it up inside.
Offsides on the kickoff. Number 95. 5 yards, re-kick.
So the penalty flag is thrown on Jameer Miller. He is the 1st-round pick, a linebacker out of UCLA. Held out a great deal of training camp. Now has come up playing in back of the veteran linebacking corps for Buddy Ryan. And the Cardinals, again, 9 plays and about 5 minutes on that scoring drive. That looks like a Chicago scoring drive, doesn't it?
Both offenses are designed to keep your defense watching the game. Let your offense sit down, let us take the clock, and try to work it down the field.
You saw the fake reverse by Dave Wannstedt. Special teams have been a very active part of the 3-game winning streak Chicago's been on.
last week's onside kickoff versus Detroit changed the whole game. Let them keep the ball. Let them keep the ball out of the hands of really Sanders, who a lot of people think is the best back. Here's a guy that has 14 guitars kicking off here. 14. Got Fenders, got Gibsons. All he wants now is a new Martin guitar.
And he strums this one right down the middle with the catch. Tony Carter, a backup running back out of the University of Minnesota. And he's out to the 35-yard line, tackled by Odie Harris, who's a defensive back out of Sam Houston State. That's a 10-yard return. Now, we just told you before that Tampa Bay has kicked a field goal to beat Minnesota. That means Chicago's in first place by a half game. So Chicago can do no worse today than be tied for first place. The best they can do, have a full one-game lead over the staggering Minnesota Vikings.
We said earlier in the year we wanted to do all the NFC Central games because it's a jump ball. Anybody can win it but Tampa.
Now the Chicago Bears with their third possession. They got it first down and 10. Walsh to his second receiver, who happened to be the water boy on the far side.
He looked to his right. He didn't like that at all. They had real good coverage. And don't forget, Aeneas is over there to the quarterback's right. Don't mess around with Aeneas Williams. He didn't like it, turned around, and he threw it over to the homeboy over there on the bench.
What a worker Aeneas Williams is. He's always at practice early, stays late, watches the film, works as hard as anybody in practice.
And did not go out for college football. He went there and studied for 2 years and then did a walk-on at Southern University.
He's got to come from no place. Here's a second down and 10. Lewis Tillman. It's about a yard. Looks like that drive by the offense may have charged up the Buddy Ryan defense. Michael Bankston. Jerry makes the stop.
And Bankston is what's making Eric Swan better. Eric Swan told us the reason I can play so good is Bankston gives me the calls by the formations. He gets to see it. He plays out to my left. He'll tell me which way to charge, which way to move. And he said, the reason Eric Swan is better, I can play because Michael Bankston tells me what to do when he reads the formations.
Well, Chicago last week, tremendous third down conversion. The only problem this week, the Cardinals have the best third down defense in the NFL. They're looking to blitz. 3rd and 9. And here they come. Batted down by Clyde Simmons.
And a good thing it got batted down because Brent Alexander, the rookie, had fallen down, and Jeff Graham was going to be open and have a chance to take it a long way.
Simmons got his big paw up there. You know, he has struggled, Simmons, most of the season until the last month when he's really begun to show what he did in Philadelphia.
He always made Reggie play better. You people at home could see where if that ball didn't get batted, Chicago had a shot at a long touchdown.
Gardaki's first punt today. Patrick Robinson waves him off and takes it at the 32-yard line. Make it the 33. Cardinals will get it. 32-yard punt by Gardaki. Cardinals have won 2 straight. The Chicago Bears have won 3 in a row. Chicago's in first place.
You can win this thing.
Second down, 7 yards to go for Jay Schrader. Little play action by Schrader. Spellman just about had him. Wrapping him up, Chris Zorich.
Spellman has changed what he's doing. Here he is. In the last 3 games we've been watching him, he's now worthy of that #1 pick. Look at him shove him to the outside. Coleman, he's the one that's harassing the quarterback. We talked to him last night. He wins the award for the best suit and maybe the biggest.
From the same hometown of Franco Harris in New Jersey, former USA Today High School Player of the Year, Alonzo Spellman. 3rd down and 13. Schrader from the gun. Good time. Flag thrown. Incomplete. Looking for Ricky Prohl. Covered by John Mangum.
A little bit behind the receiver. Not a good throw.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Number 62 of the offense. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
What's good about that penalty, if he did not do that, that was Coleman. He could not hold out Alonzo Spellman. And when the play was over, the quarterback, Jay Schroeder, got after Coleman. He said, block that guy. 62 right here. Watch the penalty. Coleman's back. Put the hand, shove him to the face, get the forearm.
Taking the place of the injured Lewis Sharp, out for the season with the knee. Run by Fiegels. Graham will let it bounce ahead. Another flag thrown back at the 32-yard line. Chicago's going to get pretty decent field position should it stay right there. That was a punt of 27 yards by Jeff Fiegels, the former Philadelphia Eagle.
These teams are so equal in a lot of things, but they're not equal in penalties. And there's a big difference in which teams get penalized and don't, and that's going to be a big difference today. Jerry
Austin, our referee.
We have holding on Chicago during the kick. 10 yards from the spot where the ball changed hands. First down, Chicago.
Last week, Wannstedt and the Bears had 8 penalties, which is one of the highest that they have accumulated all season long in one game. That's their second right there.
If that holding would have been before the punter hit the ball with his foot, they would have kept possession in first down. The reason that the team gets the ball, the Bears, they say the holding came after the ball was kicked. I don't know if they ever know those things. They sort of make them up as they go.
Dave Wannstedt, who is an assistant coach in college and in the pros, used to attend training camps run by Buddy Ryan. So there's a lot of Ryan and Wannstedt. Right now, Chicago and Wannstedt over Ryan, 7-3.
I like that.
Whatever you do, don't miss this game either, because Jerry said body bags would be the keynote of the game between the Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals. It has been that so far. Hard hitting, rugged from the beginning to now. First down and 10. Lewis Tillman. And he charges ahead for about 4 near the 39-yard line. Eric Swan, a budding superstar, makes the stop on the defensive line. Well, here's our Aflac trivia question today. What is the oldest record in NFL history? It's ironic that we asked this question on the game where the 2 oldest rivals in the history of the NFL are playing. The old Chicago Cardinals and the old Decatur Steelers. Here's a second down and 6. Chicago with a 7-3 lead. We're in the second quarter. Raymond Harris outside. He needs to get to the 45, and that's where he gets for a Chicago Bear first down. He continues to impress people.
The single back formation. Raymond Harris is back by himself. They watch him. He's going to run this way. He's got to run over somebody. That's an 8-man front. We don't have enough blockers. There's the kick out by Leuenberg. Run over one. Carry another. Juke. He has changed the Chicago Bears. He may be their MVP, and you said that 3 weeks ago, Kevin.
Last year, Worley was their leading rusher. They were hoping on Merrill Hodge. This year, a guy acquired from Pittsburgh. Both are out. The rookie Harris plugged in, and he's done a great job. First down and 10. Walsh. And again, Raymond Harris. And he picks up 6. And it wasn't an easy way either. Had to go over a couple Cardinals to get there.
He is setting the tempo. He's playing defense on offense. They're attacking him, and he's going after him. Body lean, full speed contact. Feed the stud. Before this series started, the Bears had 14 rushes, and Arizona had 8. Now they're rushing and running and rushing. That's how you got to win this game.
Harris had a grandmother who lived in Waukegan, Illinois. Used to visit her during the summers and became a Chicago Bear fan as a youngster, visiting from Ohio. Second down and 4. And again, Raymond Harris. He had to get to the 45. He's at the 46 in Wilbur Marshall. The former Chicago Bear was there. Grew up in Kettering, Ohio. Raymond Harris did. He grew up in poverty, but would visit his grandmother and watch the likes of Wilbur Marshall when he played back in the early and mid-'80s for the old Chicago Bears and that 46 defense.
The thing that's going on today is you got to start charting his yardage after contact. Pick up yards after somebody hits you. That's what Raymond Harris is doing today. Yardage after contact.
Third down and 1. 88 is McMurtry. There's a flag thrown. Tillman has the necessary yards for a first down. the 44, but flag has been the villain for both Chicago and Arizona today.
The quarterback, the voice flexion, Walsh's strength.
Offsides on the nose tackle. 5 yards, first down.
We're talking about the hard count of Walsh.
There's Walsh with that hard count. He did it in the preseason. He's been doing it since he's the starter. And what he'll do, and he doesn't, listen to what he does. Well, instead of explaining it, just listen. Turn your TV up a little, darling.
This is what he learned in Dallas from the running back coach.
The hard count. You heard it. Hot! That's what he does do.
First down and 10. Play action on first down. Jeff Graham, another first down to the Arizona Cardinal 28. Pickup of 13 on the play. And Walsh was on the money on that pass.
Super play by Terry Hogue. Super play by Terry Hogue. That was a touchdown, and Hogue got over there and saved it. Go after the rookie, after Brent Alexander, and Hogue's got to cover you up.
Another flag thrown on the play. Both coaches, both Wannstedt and Arizona coach Buddy Ryan, have had to deal with these penalties today. You just had a picture of Hogue just a minute ago, Jerry. He's one of those loyalty guys you were talking about.
He's Buddy's buddy. He was playing up in Washington, and all of a sudden they announced Buddy had a job in Arizona. He said he looked at his wife. He said, guess where we're going?
On the play, number 55 came in late. Avery hit the ground before going into the players. That is not a foul. First down from the result of the play.
Down to the 28-yard line. So Hogue came here. He knew he was going to come when Buddy got the job here.
He knew when they made an announcement. Nobody has to. When you got loyal people that will fight the negative people, when you take a job, they don't need a phone call. When they announced Buddy had the job, his wife and children got in the car and started driving. They didn't even know where Phoenix was, but they were going to end up there.
20-yard, big difference today. Chicago has held the ball much longer than Arizona. First down and 10. Bears lead by 4. Raymond Harris, the 26 in a gain of 2, and Eric Swan was there to plug up the middle.
They're going a one-back formation, so there's less people between what they call in the box, between your tackles. That's why you'll see more one-back sets out of Chicago today than ever. That will dictate and make the formation on defense spread out a little bit.
Two tight ends now, second down and 9. And Lewis Tillman around the Harris block. He had to get to the 17 for a first down. He gets to the 19.
Remember the offensive line of the Bears. We've been there. We've watched them. They are taking over.
And without Mark Bortz, who's injured.
Without Bortz. Big Cat. Jay Lewinberg. Tillman cutting right off him. Remember last week down on the end zone, they make the holes. And they're cutting off the outside pressure with the extra back.
Todd Perry is replacing Bortz, who twisted a knee early in the game and is out for the game.
It's great to have a guy come up off the bench and be able to stick with the people that have been playing together all year.
3rd down and 1 for Steve Walsh. Harris close to the first down. He had to get just inside the 18, near the 17. Eric Hill, Michael Bankston, two of the better performers on this defense. We're there with the tackles.
The Chicago Bears are making the wideouts get involved. Here's the extra man to make the play. So they bring the wideout in and block the linebacker. You're not going to get our guy from behind. So Chicago's got a good game plan involving the wideouts in the inside run.
You like those receivers that can block, don't you?
Well, sometimes they got to catch, but, you know, you like to get him involved in real football.
Now we'll see if the drive continues for the Chicago Bears, who sit alone in first place, and they're going to be short by literally the nose of the football.
Two links, we'll call it.
Minnesota has lost today, so Chicago is alone by a half game as we speak now in the Central Division in first place.
Nobody would have ever guessed that. I think it's a combination of players getting confidence in themselves, bringing in a quarterback playing good, and a good coaching job.
Well, they're going to go for the field goal. On this natural grass surface, it'll be a 35-yard attempt. Kevin Butler on the Chris Gardocki hold. There is a breeze, and it is at the back of Butler. And Chicago leads it now 10-3. So you come out of that drive with something that is very pleasing to Coach Dave Wannstedt. So the Chicago Bears control their own destiny. They're alone in first place, and they lead the Cardinals 10-3. Tough in that playoff picture. Chicago's alone in first place, and they lead here today 10-3. Long scoring drive by the Chicago Bears.
The total time of possession for the half, Chicago's got over 18 minutes, Arizona 9. Arizona plays that way. Arizona wants it, but now they only have 2 minutes. They got to take it here and get some points, get back in
it. Reads from the 14 to the 24. Tackle made by Ron Cox. Well, these two old rivals, Chicago and Arizona, the Cardinals and the Bears. What is the oldest record in NFL history? Have you thought about it?
No.
And our Aflac trivia question, it goes all the way back to 1929 when these Bears would have taken on these Chicago Cardinals. 6 touchdowns by the Cardinals' Ernie Nevers. The most rushing touchdowns in a game. But those are some great games. Papa Bear, George Halas.
I like those old Cardinal uniforms, too.
Absolutely. First down and 10. Chicago is leading in every category now. This will be the 17th play of the game for Arizona. Pass caught, far side, Larry Centers. Joe Kane, the leading tackler, makes the stop. I just mentioned the name George Halas. George Halas hired Buddy Ryan as a Chicago defensive coach back in 1978.
George Halas was really something on the sidelines. The day he retired, they said, "Why are you retiring? You're such a good coach. You got a good record." He said, "I spent all day Sunday chasing the officials, and I was not gaining on them, so I'm retiring."
Second down and 6. Kroll is 87. They've had too much time, Jerry.
2 minute, I believe. I think they hit the 2 minutes.
2-minute warning of the first half. Chicago on top with the touchdown pass to the tight end and a field goal. Arizona scored on a 49-yard field goal. Wannstedt against Ryan. The Bears against the Cardinals. Situation. Right now, a touchdown and back of the Chicago Bears. Cardinals have it second down and 6. They're at their own 28. Larry Centers is 37. And Schrader to throw. He's got a first down to Clark. Tumbling at the 40-yard line, Gary Clark. Top 10 all-time receiver. Picks up 12 yards on the play.
Slipped and fell. No huddle. They're coming up the line. 2-minute offense. Good pressure that time by Alonzo Spellman.
Got a lot of pressure on Schrader today, as they did last week against David Craig in Detroit. First and 10 for Jay Schrader to Larry Centers, the fullback. And he's out to the 47. Picks up about 7 yards. Chris Zorich got him from behind.
Doing a good job here with the no huddle. We like Schrader, talking to him. I think he's a winner. I think he can help this football team.
Well, they've had a lot of shuffling at that quarterback position. McMahon, Burline, they're second down and 3. They got the first down. This time caught by tight end Chad Fan.
If you're sitting at home in Chicago or Arizona, Alonzo Spellman is putting a clinic on with Ben Coleman. He did a helicopter, came up outside, spun underneath, and stuck the quarterback right in the chest.
Timeout by Arizona. They've got 1 remaining, and they trail the Chicago Bears 10-3. And Terry Bradshaw will go over a very busy day in the National Football League with scores and highlights. Here, 10-3, Chicago. Schrader on this drive, by the way, now line up in the shotgun, has gone 4 of 4. Will he make it 5-5? Incomplete. Gary Clark at the Chicago 30, covered on the play by Jeremy Lincoln.
Real cute trick here. You're going to see this man back up and get in the pass. They're showing 4-man rush. Going to turn to 3. Here comes the backside tackle looking for the crossing route. Nice little cute trick they're running into 2 minutes with Chicago defensive linemen. They're involved in the pass coverage.
Jay Schrader played college football at UCLA. Second down and 10. The blitz is on, and down goes Schrader. Maurice Douglas and John Mangum. Douglas having an all-pro year. special teams performer, but now making his noise on defense.
It looked like a blitz, but all the tackles dropped out. They're going to blitz and blitz. He's going to think it's man-to-man. Watch these 2 tackles. They're going to drop off in the zone. This is zone dog. They thought it was blitz. They
see it now. 3rd and 19. Coming at Schrader again. Hit as he threw. Incomplete. Inside the 5. Gary Clark double covered by Carrier and Jeremy Lincoln. Well, it's been a rough afternoon for Gary Clark.
Chicago has been anything but vanilla in this 2-minute defensive period. They gave him a tackle dropping on an inside crossing. They dropped both tackles, brought both nickel safety, and they're just doing a great job mixing it up on the quarterback.
Fiegels to punt. 5th punt. Make it 4th punt in 5 possessions. 4th punt in 5 possessions for the Arizona Cardinals. Deep back is Graham on the 10. And out of bounds at the 17. 46-yard punt, 7-yard return for Graham, who's had a big day in the first half. And the Chicago Bears must feel pretty good about what they've been able to do.
But you look at everything that's gone wrong. I'm a Cardinal fan. Nothing much good has happened, but a touchdown puts us right back in the ball game. So you got to feel good. You got to say at halftime, we didn't do much right. Nothing much went our way. But guess what? We're only 1 touchdown down. Let's get back in this ball game.
Buddy Ryan called today the most important game of the season for the Cardinals.
This is their playoff game. They have to win this one to get in the playoffs. Chicago's going to do a kneel down. 18
seconds left, and that's exactly what Walsh will do. He'll fall to a knee. Chicago has won 3 consecutive games, and they are alone now in first place in the Central Division because Minnesota lost today in overtime to Tampa Bay. And as far as the Arizona Cardinals are concerned, their team that they were tied with, the Atlanta Falcons, won today. So Arizona needs to win today to stay in that playoff picture. Chicago 10, Arizona 3. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local station.
The linebacker, Seth Joyner, gets caught peeking in man-to-man, but he's still able to tip the ball with his left hand, the deflection, and White Knight has the only touchdown.
That is the 7th touchdown by the tight ends for the Chicago Bears this season. Jerry Glanville, Kevin Harlan with you. Now the Cardinals in the second half. I mean, it's really kind of coming down to crunch time for them.
We said before the game started, the team with the most rushing attempts would probably win it. Chicago's got 22, and the Cardinals got 8.
Steve Walsh right now has had a very, very good game against a very rugged Arizona defense.
Well, you're talking about a total yardage for both clubs is 75 yards passing. So passing's not going to win this thing. But the Cardinals, you got to remember, you're only down 7 points. So they still got a great chance to come back and get this thing.
And some of the first half statistics with a lead of 10-3 by the Chicago Bears. Anything stand out? I guess maybe the offensive play is number 1.
Total plays, and it goes back to total rushing attempts. We thought that when you play these types of teams, you got to run the ball. Even if you're not gaining yardage, you got to get rushing attempts.
Steve Walsh as a starter for the Chicago Bears, 6-0. He has that interception today, but 6 of 10 he's been very, very accurate. The Chicago Bears have gone right at Jay Schrader today. He's had the pressure. In fact, he's feeling the same kind of pressure that they put on David Craig last week for Detroit.
One thing that's happened to the Chicago Bears, I think it's Alonzo Spellman. They're able to get after the quarterback without the blitz, and then they've added some blitzing. You got to credit the coaching staff in the 2-minute situations. They ran some clever tricks against the Cardinals in 2 minutes. When they got near the 50, they blitzed the outside people and dropped the tackles and still played zone and made it look like a blitz, and the quarterback was smart enough he had to eat the ball.
5 possessions, 4 punts for the Arizona Cardinals.
That's why you see so few points. But when you're just down 7, you just went through the longest walk in the NFL is off this field. I hated this stadium. You'd walk into your locker room, and just the time you got there, the officials say 2 minutes. So you have the fewest amount of minutes to make adjustments in this stadium.
Nate Lewis deep back, along with Robert Green. Greg Davis, who has kicked a 49-yard field goal today for the Cardinals, is set to kick off for Arizona. Last year known as the Phoenix Cardinals. In the offseason, they became the Arizona Cardinals. And the boot to Nate Lewis from about the 10. And to the 30-yard line. And the tackle made by Randy Kirk, who is the long snapper on the Cardinals. He's bounced around from about 3 or 4 teams in the National Football League. Next week, Dallas against Philadelphia in a Fox doubleheader Sunday. That begins at 12 noon Eastern with the pregame show. Jerry and I will be in Cleveland with the Giants and the Browns, in Green Bay, Detroit, Atlanta, San Francisco. The Cardinals will be at the Dome to take on the Houston Oilers and the New Orleans Saints against the Los Angeles Rams. Check the game and time in your area. The Chicago Bears have not won a road game after Thanksgiving since 1987. They lead 10-3. This is the first play of the second half for quarterback Steve Walsh. And the handoff to Lewis Tillman. 126 yards last week against Detroit. That time he picks up a bunch, about 6 yards up the middle of Lorenzo Lynch. Maybe the strongest defensive back in the NFL with the stop. 16 consecutive road losses after Thanksgiving.
But most of the people on this team were not with the Bears and probably weren't even paying any attention. So all that matters is what they do today.
Second down and 3. Nice block on the blitz. Nonetheless, Cardinals converge. Flag is thrown. Wilbur Marshall made the stop on Lewis Tillman.
Eric Swan against Jay
Number
Lewinberg.
55 of the defense. 10 yards. First down.
Eric Swan was drafted without playing college football. Here he is right here against Jay Lewinberg. A semi-pro. By semi-pro, I said, did they pay you? He said, no. I said, did they give you insurance? He said, no. So I don't know how you get to be a pro if you're not getting paid and you don't have insurance. But he got drafted #1 in pro football without ever going to college.
He was homeless for a while. Had to live on the streets.
And a great guy now. He says, I'm America. When you see me in the National Football League, I am America.
First down and 10. And a play action by Walsh. He's got his receiver, the tight end Ryan Whatnot. He's got a first down. And he's all the way to the Cardinal 41-yard line. Whatnot caught the touchdown earlier in the day. Hogue and Aeneas Williams make the stop after a 12-yard gain by Ryan Whatnot, who got the pass from Walsh and was coached by a Walsh in college. Bill Walsh at Stanford.
Now that was a changeup. Mark it down. Don't put any ketchup on your hot dog. The Cardinals played zone. That was a zone in the secondary. That doesn't happen too often.
Well, they play a lot of man-to-man.
They're a man-to-man team. Jump all over you. They got the zone, and the ball was completed.
First down and 10. Great fake by Walsh. He has the tight end Keith Jennings. And he picks up about 5, maybe 6 near the Cardinal 35. A 2-year starter cut in training camp. No team picked him up. And then when Gedney went down with the broken leg, they re-signed him. He's got 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks for the Bears.
We didn't think that the flats would be open because of the man-to-man. Seth Joyner had a man-to-man. But one thing about Walsh, he still gets it in there. There wasn't much room. He still stuck the ball in on the short flat.
Steve Walsh from St. Paul, Minnesota. Second down and 5. Cardinals lead at 10-3. Lewis Tillman. And about 3 to the 33. Tackled by Michael Bankston and Lorenzo Lynch.
The 46 defense. The 8-man front. Whatever they do, there's going to be one more guy than you can block. So you have to run after contact. There's 29, gets a block. Here comes the next man running up in there. That's the philosophy of the 46 is we got one more guy than you have accountable. So your back has to run after contact.
And every gap is filled.
Every gap is filled, and we got an extra whacker.
Third down and 2. Action by Walsh. Pass deflected, caught by Harris. He doesn't get the first down. He needed to get to the 31, but screwing it up was Clyde Simmons, who for a second time today has gotten a hand on a Steve Walsh pass.
And you have a chance for an interception on these tips, more so if you're zoned. When you're man, you got to cover your man. Watch Big Clyde, 96, second deflection. You got to teach your team a tip. Well, that was a low throw. A tip. I think I could have deflected that one. That thing didn't get above his belt buckle. Low throw. This is a long field goal here, Kevin.
52 yards.
You better play for a fake if you're with the Cardinals.
Gardocki the hold, the win at the back of Butler, who's already kicked a field goal today from 35. Kevin Butler. He got it from 52 yards away. And first place, Chicago leads at 13-3. A season-long kick for Kevin Butler.
I don't think he would have made it if it was 53, and he didn't have to. It was only 52. Squeak, come on, baby. Come on. Get over that bar. Yes!
Big kick for the Chicago Bears. That cactus we just saw there may have looked like the goalpost, the uprights for Kevin Butler, who just barely got that 52-yard field goal through.
If you're a Cardinal player, a Cardinal fan, you feel pretty good stopping him there, that you're probably not going to even give up the 3. He just got that thing over the bar.
Higgs is deep back for the Cardinals. This will be Levy from the 23. Chuck Levy, the rookie, spinning to the 32. Well, Jerry, for the Arizona Cardinals, not known for a great many comebacks, although they have trailed some teams in comeback, most notably the New York Giants a couple weeks ago in the Meadowlands. This is a team that needs to come back and do it now.
We asked Buddy Ryan, we had a meeting with Buddy on Saturday. We said, what happens if you get behind? What happens if you get in a shootout? Can your offense come back in a shootout? He said, we're so good on defense, we won't need a shootout. Well, sometimes you get in trouble, and you got to be able to fire that ball.
Cardinals were favored by 3. They're favored by a field goal coming into today. First down and 10. Schrader to the tight end, Chad Fan. And he'll be shy of a first down by the length of a football. Vincent Smith chases him out of bounds.
The Bears, on their scouting report, still believe the Cardinals are going to run. They're still in their 8-man front. What you've seen today is 2 defenses that are challenge you. Go ahead and throw it. Gonna make you throw it. You cannot run up in here.
Second down and 1 for Schrader.
250. 250.
Line for the first down, Ronald Moore. And he'll be close to the first down. Tackle made by Alonzo Spellman, number 9.
Chicago has changed on defense because Spellman, their #1 pick out of Ohio State, has grown up. He said he looked in the mirror. He didn't like what he saw. His whole life is, he said, when I look in the mirror, I want to be able to say, I like what I see. I'm going to play hard. I'm going to quit worrying about making mistakes.
So he became more vocal on the field.
More vocal, he says, more animated, and he says, I'm not worrying about, do I got to do everything perfect? Life's not a perfect thing. Go play and have some fun.
Cardinals have not converted a third down all day. They got it 3rd and 1 right here. Schrader with some play action. First down reception made by Larry Centers, leading receiver a season ago as well. He gets the first. That was much needed by the Cardinals.
But that's the message. When you got 3rd and 1 and you have to watch the bootleg, he's going to run the bootleg fake and the fullback in the flat. There's the fake. And played nice by Joe Kane. He didn't chase a rainbow. He stayed right there. But when it's 3rd and 1 and you're a Cardinal team of all teams and you got to throw, there's a message there that you're getting your butt beat up front.
First down and 10 for Schrader. Schrader today through the air, 9 of 16. They'll keep it on the ground. And Ronald Moore's got the first down. Ronald Moore inside the Chicago 35 to the Chicago Bear 32. Pickup of 22 yards.
Here's a back that can break a tackle. Why did he break out? Because the Bears, look at, hold it right there. Everybody's on the line of scrimmage except one. They know that the Cardinals are going to run. Everybody's on the line, and Moore says, oh, it's too crowded. I'm coming back from where I came.
Nice cutback.
Good cutback. That's a good football player. He was a good back for him last year.
1,000-yard gainer a season ago as a rookie. Pretty good field position now for the Cardinals. First down and 10 from the Chicago Bear 32. And Schrader going to work. Gary Clark to the Chicago 12. carrier chopped him down, and a pickup on the play of 20 yards.
Two things happened. They protected the quarterback because a pass on first down. Buddy Ryan hates to pass on first down. Here's the pass, so the line's not getting up in there. They're holding everybody at the line of scrimmage. There's a guy he's throwing 100 balls to. Gary Clark, catch and run. Got his mouthpiece hanging out. Put it in before contact. You keep those teeth.
So with their deepest penetration today, Arizona Cardinals from the Chicago 12 and down by 10. Ronald Moore, and he's to the 11-yard line. Dante Jones had the first good lick on him.
The Bears won at the point of attack. And the Bears still don't believe there's going to be a pass. The Bears, everybody's on the line of scrimmage. Watch these people. Watch the defensive tackles. Dante Jones coming in the back door. Trace Armstrong pushing and shoving, playing as hard as he can play.
Cardinals need to get in here. Second down. We'll call it 10. He's got the receiver, Ricky Prohl, inside the Chicago 4. He needed to get to the 2 for the first down. Great scrambling by Jay Schrader.
All-out blitz by the Bears on Schrader. And when you have a bootleg versus a blitz, you can't block them all. So he's going to go bootleg. Watch at the top of the screen. They got an extra man. Got to escape and throw. Wasn't that nice? Armstrong was free. Schrader's bringing him back in the ball game.
So now third down and 2. With the Cardinals at the Chicago 4. Best penetration they've had by far today. On a great drive executed. Carl Simpson digging in. Third down today. Arizona 1 of 6. 3 Arizona tight ends. Play action. Schrader. Incomplete. Looking for Larry Centers. He had the entire Chicago defense beating a path to his door.
Schrader threw that away. That's not an ugly pass. He looked. He was in trouble. He had no. They got in a goal line offense. They're with 3 tight ends and 2 backs here. That's unusual. Spellman coming from the backside, chasing him. He could feel the heat. He had to throw it away. Spellman has grown up. Here's a guy. He loves his mama, Dorothy. Raised 6 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment. He says he knows how it is to be poor, and he helps every kid in Chicago that he can go talk to and help.
With a 49 field goal already today, Greg Davis will try one from 22 yards away, and he nails it. And the third quarter clock at 5:18. So the Cardinals did what they had to do. They got some points on the board. They still trail Chicago, though, by 7. The Bears 13. The Cardinals 6.
Maybe it's our rugged shift on the move 4-wheel drive. Maybe it's our high-track independent suspension. Or maybe our powerful V6. Whatever the reason, 1993 was the 14th year in a row 4x4 buyers made Toyota the best-selling compact 4x4. Hey, maybe nobody wants to walk home from here. Toyota trucks, you just gotta love them.
What if he's hungry? He won't be hungry. Every other kid in the world's gonna feed him. Okay.
May your season be magical. Make it a blockbuster holiday.
Get it moving. And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
Wednesday.
Do you smell smoke?
All hell breaks loose and there's no place to run.
We're gonna die in here.
A brand new 90210 Wednesday on Fox.
Cardinals just got a field goal, second of the day, from Greg Davis, who kicked 4 last week in the 12-6 Arizona win over the Philadelphia Eagles. Now Arizona creeping closer to Chicago. Bears have scored on a couple long field goals and on a touchdown pass. Long drive by the Cardinals.
8 plays, 64 yards, and the key for them again is 5 minutes and 24 seconds.
The Cardinal kickoff from Greg Davis. Nate Lewis into the sun from the 5. To the 23. Tackle made by Chris Oldham. So now how does Chicago respond? They just had the Cardinal offense move on the Chicago defense. And the Cardinals hold on defensively. And does Chicago have more scoring in them? The Valley. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. 72 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. At least for Chicago. They lead it 13-6. The Cardinals have had to brush aside some clouds, and they've gotten back in this game with a long drive, and now it's up to their defense and Eric Hill to make things happen. Seth Joyner's digging in as well. First down and 10. Walsh. A little wide. Incomplete pass. He had hit his last 4 in a row until then.
I believe Swan hit his hand or the ball. Good pressure by Eric Swan. I saw him swing his big paw up there, and I think he may have knocked it down. A rip arm under. Yeah, just a little bit late. He caused a little bit of a bad throw. Looked like he hurt his thumb. He hit something, maybe Eric Swan's hand.
Second down and 10. Lewis Tillman maneuvering to the 25. Pick up a couple. Eric Hill, Lorenzo Lynch double teamed him.
Outnumbering you. That's the Cardinal defense. When he went in motion, you could see Raymond Harris motioning, trying to eliminate the extra people, but they came right with the motion. When you're all done blocking, Kevin, they got one more guy than you got.
Hill's coming out, his little cut between his eyes and the bridge of his nose. There's a 3rd down and 9. Robert Green and Bob Christian in the game. Look out for the blitz. Walsh reading it, maybe checking off. He did, and he gets the pass off. He needs to get to the 33. And Jeff Graham's in a foot race. Jeff Graham inside the 30. Jeff Graham, who's had a monstrous day to the 26-yard line of the Arizona Cardinals. Gain of 50 yards on 3rd down.
Man-to-man blitz. You got to get inside and take away the slant. He's going to blitz, so he's man-to-man. You can't run an inside cut on any of these people. Man-to-man. Here we go. Get inside. He misses the tackle. His head's behind him. It's off to the races.
That is the longest pass play by Steve Walsh this year.
But you have to remember, he threw the ball 4 yards.
You know, the big play has hurt the Arizona Cardinal defense on countless occasions this season.
Well, when you're blitzing and you're after him, you try to stop long drives, but you can give up a big play.
A couple weeks ago in Philadelphia, cost him a couple times. Almost cost him last week when Herschel Walker ran back a touchdown that was nullified on a penalty. And the handoff goes to Lewis Tillman. And he burrows for a couple to the 23. Tackle made by Michael Bankston. The defense has been out there for a long, long time today.
And standing up here, I promise you, Lewis Tillman and Raymond Harris tomorrow will be in the whirlpool. They are getting, when you see them gain 2 yards a yard, they are getting whacked. They will have some bruises and knots on their body.
Second down and 7. Harris is 29 in motion. Penalty flag on Aeneas Williams, guarding Jeff Graham at the 15.
Aeneas had the interception. Stay away from Aeneas. This man can play.
Pass interference, number 35 of the defense. First down.
Another big penalty against the Cardinals.
If the first pump, if the ball comes out, Walsh saw it, and he says he's got it, and he held it, and when he pumped it again, there was a penalty. If he throws this football right here, watch him. That was intercepted. The man had jumped it, and Nias had it, and he had to grab him when the ball didn't come out.
Some of that Chicago character we've been hearing so much about over the last month during this 3-game winning streak. Coming out. Cardinals just scored. Here come the Bears right back at that vaunted Cardinal defense. 1st and 10. And Tillman for about a yard, maybe 2. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Kevin, the Rams were up by 8 in the 3rd, but take a look. They are the 2nd worst punt coverage team in the league. Here's an example of why. Darian Gordon of the Chargers covers 75 yards to the end zone, draw within 2. Then the 2-point conversion to Ronnie Harmon. And San Diego has it knotted at 14. That in the 3rd. Back to Arizona, Kevin and Jerry.
Thank you, James. Here Chicago leads it 13-6. The first play, Chicago Bears. Minnesota lost. Chicago's up by a half game in the Central. As of now, 2nd down and 9. Walsh. Again, it was batted down. Almost picked off. Incomplete. Eric Hill almost made the diving interception. But again, for a 3rd time today, the Cardinal defense has gotten into the face of Steve Walsh.
Pressure defense. Make the quarterback make the play. Sell your team. A deflection is as good as a sack. Bang. Tips it down. This team thrives on that. Is that Clyde Simmons getting his 3rd knockdown? That's as good as 3 sacks in anybody's ball game.
3rd and 9, and the Bears today 3 for 8. Big defensive series for the Cardinals. Can they hold Chicago? They've done it. Ryan Wetnight cannot lasso the pass from Walsh, and so Butler will take the field, and Chicago will try for 3.
Man-to-man, man-to-man, so they're all man-to-man. This guy's covering him man-to-man and just break to the flat, try to rub off. There's the rub off on the pick. Didn't get the ball there.
Chicago in the last 2 possessions has kicked 2 field goals. Butler from 35, Butler from 52. This time Butler from 31. And again, the wind at his back. Gardocki on the hole. And the Bears annex their lead. 3rd quarter clock at 2:26 at Chicago 16, the Cardinals 6. And for Dave Wannstedt, all he wants to do is get something on the board every time he's got it. And for Buddy Ryan, he's got to come from behind now to get at Wannstedt and the Bears. It's Chicago on top by 10. It's been today between the Cardinals and the Bears.
Women and children won't think this is a pretty picture, but that's what this game's all about. Peel back your nose, rip off your ear, grab a hole. Don't wear an earring in this game. Something's coming off your ear.
What'd you call this, a body bag game?
It's a body bag game. I love these types of games.
The drive by Chicago, 8 plays, and the subsequent kickoff by Gardocki. Chuck Levy from the 5. Levy's got some moves, and he weaves his way near the 30, and the tackle is made by John Mangum. Rams and San Diego tied 14 apiece. The Giants, we've got them next week in Cleveland. They take on Washington today, and Pittsburgh. Well, what a battle that was in the 80s. Pittsburgh over the Raiders now, 7-3. Kansas City struggling up at the Kingdome, 6-0. Denver trying to get by the 2-9 Bengals, 15-6. That is the 3rd quarter. Atlanta, that's a big game for Arizona because the 2 are tied going into the playoff picture. And Minnesota losing today vaults Chicago by themselves, number 1, first place in the Central Division. So Chicago today can do no worse than a tie for first place. If they win, they lead by a game. Schrader on 1st and 10. Arizona's got other things on their mind. Clark maybe had too much on his as he drops the pass from Schrader incomplete.
Got in a slot formation, so that left it man-to-man on the widest person in the slot. And Gary Clark drops the ball.
Looks like they picked up some steam here in the 2nd half.
The Cardinals are, here's what we went back to. There's our inside linebacker, Hill. They may sew him up, but oh gosh. In college, you'd miss a player or 2. In the pros, you get a guy that used to sew up baseballs, and you get him to fix your players.
Would that be Dr. Spaulding? It's 2nd down. Schrader. Chain fans. There's a late hit and a penalty flag on the Chicago Bears. Vincent Smith was up high with his hit.
Oh my goodness.
And what a hit it was.
Oh my goodness.
Cardinals throwing on 2nd and 10. He's got him around the head.
Yep.
He's pulling him face mask. Let it go, darling. That's going to be a long one.
Personal foul. Tackling by the face mask. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Sometimes your hand gets in there, and it's in there, and by the time you get to thinking about it, everybody's seen it but you. I don't believe it was intentional. Just got caught.
A lot of penalties in this game. We talked about the Cardinals before. The second most penalized. The Bears hardly get any kind of penalties thrown on them.
Second from the least penalized team, and I think when you play a team like the Cardinals, one deserves another. They sort of feed off of each other.
With the penalty, first down and 10. And Schrader's got some time on that patchwork offensive line. And the receiver who tripped, and that was the fullback, Larry Centers. Stride for stride with Joe Kane. No penalty flag on the play. Let's go back to Hollywood, and here's James Brown. James?
All right, Kevin. Soggy conditions not affecting Dave Brown back in D.C. Pitches the fake to Rodney Hampton. Finds Mike Sherrard back in the end zone. Giants leading at 21-12. Let's take you back to Arizona. Kevin Harlan and Jerry Glanville.
Thank you, James. Good to see Sherrard staying healthy. He's had a series of injuries over his career, but he's staying healthy this entire season so far.
You got to admire people that just keep coming back when all those things break up and get busted in surgery.
Speaking of coming back, Schrader's got to bring this Cardinal team back. Second down and 10. Jay Schrader, and great defense on the play by Joe Kane, 59, covering wide receiver Gary Clark.
And Alonzo Spellman gave the quarterback absolutely no time. What's changed the Bears is they can pressure your quarterback with just the 4-man rush. Up, arm, swim underneath. He told me to watch for that one. And there's Joe Kane. Two good football players.
It's been an underrated part of their defense, hasn't it? The pressure on the quarterback.
Well, we remember when we saw them with the Vikings, they couldn't get pressure. Their only sack could be bought at the A&P. They can go after the guy now.
They're down and 10. Cardinals need a conversion. They're down by 10. And Schrader from the gun. He's got to get to the 40. And Larry Centers gets to the 42. Now, fourth down and a couple. Do you go for it if you're Buddy Ryan?
I think you have to. And the Bears, remember when they pulled the tackle out and played man on the crossing route? This guy is going to take this back. Believe it or not, this tackle has got him. There he is, inside out. He swam, came underneath him, had a nice trick, but the Cardinals beat the scheme.
Well, they've decided to punt. Fifth punt in 7 possessions for the Cardinals. Fiegels again. Could we see a fake, perhaps? This is one of the best punters getting the ball inside the 20-yard line. Stomach sails out of bounds. Did he make it? Touchback. 42-yard punt. So even that isn't going right for Arizona right now. 51 seconds in the third quarter. Time running out for the Cardinals, who trails 16-6 to the Bears.
If someone said they wanted a car that was as quiet as a Mercedes, yet as practical as an Accord, that handled as well as a BMW, but was as economical as a Nissan Altima, and that somebody said they wanted all of this in one car, you'd say they had their head in the clouds. And you'd be right. This Cirrus, Chrysler's newest cab-forward car. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Now, the 5 greatest football players ever. Some strange plays affected the list this week. Leading off, Robert Bailey for outthinking everybody. Number 4, same play. Number 3, Garrow Yepremian. He heard the footsteps. Number 2, Garrow in slow-mo. But the man who looks good at any speed is you-know-who, Al Del Greco. This is The Hat. See you next week.
This man plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His name is Artie Nickerson, but he often goes by the name the Dragon or El Dragon. He is very dangerous and often angry.
Act casual.
Fox NFL Sundays, brought to you by Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Beautiful downtown Phoenix, Arizona for the Cardinals, though. Late in the third quarter, down by 10. They just had a 4th and 2, Jerry. Deep in Chicago territory.
You wonder about Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan will take a chance on defense. Blitz you, play man-to-man, get after you. 4th and 2, won't take a chance on offense to try to get ahead.
That's been the chief criticism of this ultra-conservative offense. 1st and 10 handoff. Lewis Tillman, not much room, because Eric Hill was there to shut him down. That's the guy with the bloody nose we just saw.
This is pro football. Eric Hill, we're giving you a new nose. We're going to give you the big overhand stitch. What's he do? He runs up in there, makes a play. This guy is a pro bowler if there ever was one. I wish he wore it here. Yeah, he got a new nose.
2nd down and 10. The defense hasn't lost any intensity. Probably the final play of the third quarter right here. Walsh. It was caught, but out of bounds. Brent Alexander was under it, but out of play when he swiped it. 9 seconds left in the third.
The defense of the Cardinals trying to do it by themselves, pressure the quarterback. Let's see his feet. Oh, look, he's dragging him already. What a play.
Man,
what a play.
That's very, very close.
That man's a rookie. That's a college bula guy dragging his feet before he goes out of bounds. That's a nice play.
Well, the defense can still make some hay here. 3rd down and 10. If Chicago would have to punt, Cardinals would get great field position. And plenty of time remains, a full quarter ahead of us. Walsh from his own 19. Incomplete. So the defense did hold.
An excellent protection, but the quarterback, you feel something every time. He really didn't have to bring the ball out, but he didn't know he had the time. A good job by Leuenberg and Big Cat. They took the stunt off to the right side, but the quarterback didn't know they had everything secured.
Cardinals are going to get pretty good field position here on the punt by Gardocki of Chicago. Even a big boom, and back deep they've got Patrick Robinson. This is a high-hanging punt and a beauty. Good block for him, though. Robinson with the ball. Robinson digging his way to the 47. Tackle made by Ron Cox. Punt of 46 yards. The Chicago Bears have not won a post-Thanksgiving road game since 1987. Dave Wannstedt trying to do it right now. He has a 10-point lead over Buddy Ryan going to the 4th quarter. Robinson of Arizona. You don't think this team's fired up, has some emotion going to this 4th quarter?
They'll all hit each other. Now watch this. They'll hit him. He'll turn around, hit. Don't hit the big guy. When you're a little guy, don't hit the big guys.
Best beginning field position for Arizona. 1st down and 10 just outside their 45. Larry Centers. He's got a gain of almost 10. Right now for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. James?
Hey, Kevin, Stan Humphries may not like to work out in the offseason, but in season he's strong and he loves Ronnie Harmon. Finds him again. This a 10-yard TD toss. San Diego on top of the Rams, 21-14 in the third. Back to Tempe. Kevin Harlan, Jerry Glanville.
That last 1st and 10, you saw a pass. You know, this has changed. This is not what the Cardinals been doing. Throwing on 1st and 10.
So they're opening up a little bit.
They got to.
They got the 1st down on the play. Gain of 10 by Centers, so 1st and 10 for Schrader. And again he goes to the air on 1st down. Screen pass, Larry Centers. 1st down yardage was inside the 34, and he gets to the 36, so he picks up 8 on that 1st down play. Barry Minter makes the stop.
Watch Alonzo Spellman. We say he's growing up. He's becoming a player. There's the helicopter. Get the arm and flick him around the back. And good height. This is a big guy. When I saw his suit coat that he had on last night, if that would have been made out of leather, they would have had to kill 3 cows to make the thing.
2nd down and 2. Cardinals are down by 10. We are early in the 4th quarter. Little change up now. Checking off at the line, Jay Schrader. Schrader. It's intercepted. And picked off on the play by Donnell Wolford, who Wannstedt is having an all-pro season. And the Cardinals throw it to Wolford, the first Chicago takeaway in 2 games.
It's 2nd and 1, and you audible, and you throw an interception. You better take your time getting to the sideline. It's 2nd and 1. He throws the fade, and they got 2 people back there. He read the blitz and audible. Now the key is when you walk off the field, Schrader's got to find the head coach and walk away from where he is on the sideline, because you just caused the problem.
Wolford with his 4th interception of the season. And a big one it was. And now here comes Chicago the other way. Can they capitalize on the Cardinal turnover? On the handoff, Lewis Tillman into the guts. And he picks up about 2 yards. Tackle made by Michael Bankston.
Chicago is showing the patience. There's an 8-man front. When they run the ball, they cannot account for everybody. But Dave Wannstedt says, I don't care. I'm going to keep on running it. That's 29 rushes for him and 11 for Arizona. That's what's going on.
Time of possession. Chicago, 3 weeks into the season, was the worst team in time of possession. Now they are number 1 in time of possession in the NFL. 2nd down and 8. Jennings in motion. Lewis Tillman McCall. Brought down hard. Gain of 2. Bernard Wilson got a hand on him, and then Eric Hill tore him down, and Schrader plotting for the next time he gets the ball.
2nd and 1, you audible, and you throw a pick, and you're moving the football. That kills you. 2nd and 1, sometimes all you need is a yard. Don't bother audible and just go ahead and get the first down and start all over again.
This game is presented by authority of the NFL, intended solely for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of the telecast without the expressed written consent of the Arizona Cardinals and the NFL is prohibited. Cardinal defense will try to prohibit Chicago from getting a first down. Here it's 3rd and 5 for Walsh. He's got him. Graham, first down catch to the 19. Again, Graham, the big reception. Brent Alexander beaten on the play.
They shifted and scattered the formation. The Bears moved everybody, and Brent Alexander knew he was in trouble. When all this shifting got done, you can't see to your right. He's hollering for help. I'm alone, and there's the ball. The Cardinals run the defense after you get lined up. Then they know what they were in. The shifting bothered the Cardinals.
Graham today, 6 receptions over 100 yards. First down and 10. This is Lewis Tillman. Big hole for Lewis Tillman, who gained 126 last week. He has a first down gain of 16 yards.
And this is the 2nd time when all the blocking and all the guards are pulling through. They'll come running around. There's the Todd Perry, hasn't played. He's coming through. And Terry Hogue has to save another touchdown. That's twice. He was the last guy to make the play. Todd Perry never played, and he's coming up through on the pull. A backup guard helping him. And there's Terry Hogue saving a touchdown.
Tillman, 62 yards today. Here's a 1st and 10. Wow, what a hit. Eric Hill hit Lewis Tillman and whacked him.
Got a little blood knots running down over his nose, down into his cheeks. Welcome to pro football. This is what pro football is all about. Keep on playing, Eric.
Why don't they sew that thing up?
Well, I tell you what, they don't have a guy that has that secret baseball overhand stitch.
I told you Chicago, the number 1 team in time of possession, coming from dead last early in the season to number 1 right now. 2nd down and 10. Bears lead by 10. Raymond Harris. Eric Hill, 58. And a gain of about 2.
We don't know how Eric Hill can play any better. Don't know if it's possible. He's changing the defense. He's calling everything off. Now, they can't slam and slide on him. Good job by the big people up front. Eric Swan had the guard in the center so he could run in there unmolested and whack the ball carrier.
Now Hill zeroes in 3rd and 9 for the Chicago offense.
There's the shift and the scatter. There's the cluster.
So they'll try to flood an area.
They'll break up the man-to-man. Somebody will be free.
Like that guy right there. That's a first down catch by Craig McMurtry, and he's out to the 47-yard line.
Remember, the Cardinals are man-to-man. We've only caught them in a zone once. So all this cluster, this covey, is to break somebody off free on the man-to-man when they switch it off.
And you called it.
There it is.
You stayed underneath, and everybody drew back.
That's what beats man-to-man. Get them all in a covey, get them in a cluster, and then wipe people off, bump people, and somebody come underneath wide open.
How about Walsh today? 12 of 21, but accurate passing all the way.
This game's not about passing. This game's about rushing attempts and don't turn the ball over. And he hasn't turned the ball over but one time.
Walsh on the play action. A little bit behind his intended receiver, Jeff Graham, who's already caught 6 Walsh passes today.
That's what we get for bragging on him. As soon as we brag down Walsh, we got to tell you, that was an ugly pass. Jeff Graham.
He's from Kettering, Ohio, Jerry.
Tell him what he did on Thanksgiving in his hometown. 500 turkeys for that he donates through, and his mama's in charge of it. He buys 500 turkeys for the people of Kettering's right outside of Dayton, Ohio. And that's what kind of guy this is. I love that guy.
Walsh has had a great day quarterbacking, a 6-0 starter. The only quarterback in the NFL who has started half his team's games and is spotless so far. Lewis Tillman with a 49. Lorenzo Lynch around his waist.
Good tackle by Lorenzo because he was in the open field. He's fixing to try to break it to the outside. Eric Hill hadn't got there yet, so Lynch had to grab a hold and hang on.
How about the Arizona rush defense today?
88 yards. Again, you remember our Bears offensive line. They lose Mark Bortz. Big part of their offensive line. In comes a Todd Perry, and he's doing a good job, and their line keeps dominating football games.
3rd down and 8 now. That line needs to dig in against that vaunted Cardinal defense. 7:50 clock ticking in the 4th. Walsh knocked, intercepted, picked off by Keith McCants. He's got to beat Walsh, and he does. Touchdown, Arizona. McCants was a bust at Tampa Bay. Played for Buddy Ryan at Houston. They let him go. He's here in Arizona. Brought in to pressure the quarterback. And he's come up with the biggest play maybe of his career.
I talked to him yesterday. I said, I see you making all kinds of plays. I see you doing things that you never did before. He said, you know why? I'm right next to the big guy. I'm right next to the Swan. They got to account for him. They let me go. I get to make plays. What a play.
That's the first defensive touchdown for the Cardinals this season. A 45-yard interception return. Greg Davis. And with 7:36 remaining in the 4th quarter, the Chicago Bears' 10-point lead is down to 3. Steve Walsh had a chance. He couldn't get him. The 2nd interception thrown today by Walsh in Chicago, 16-13. Be a dangerous place.
Deflected, 4th deflected pass. McCants deflected himself, caught it. Watch a little wiggle on the quarterback, Walsh, and he's in for a touch. Deflected pass, the 4th one this game by the Cardinals.
In what Buddy Ryan has labeled the biggest game of the season for his team. They're down by 3. Out of bounds on the kickoff. There go the flag, in a good position now for the Chicago Bears.
40-yard line. The ball will be brought out to 40.
From the kickoff, it'll be Chicago. 1st and 10 from their 40.
7:31 remaining. What's going through the mind of Steve Walsh? Spotless until today. Now 2 interceptions. The Cardinals are coming back. And it couldn't have come at a better time. Now, the reaction for Steve Walsh. 6-0 as a Chicago starter. He's got it 1st and 10. And to Lewis Tillman. Stood up, in at 3 to the 43. Eric Hill, Michael Bankston. Chicago is alone in 1st place by a half game because in overtime the Buccaneers came back to beat the Vikings. And that impacts the wild card race, as does this one. Atlanta and Arizona came in today 5-6. With the Falcon win, they are 6-6. If Arizona wants to stay in the picture, they've got to win today. A loss, it will not be in their hands anymore. They've got to rely on others to do their work for them. 2nd down and 7. McMurtry is 88. Lewis Tillman, no place to go. End of a yard and a half. Lorenzo Lynch was there to shut the door.
The defensive line, Bernard Wilson, Eric Swan, and watch the linebacker, 58. Watch him run, watch him go. Toss sweep. They don't have enough people to block everybody. He's the free man, gets the free whack.
This is a big stand for the Cardinal defense. 3rd and 6. For the Bears, they've got to get a first down. 6:11 left. Clock is ticking. The blitz. Walsh. He's got to get to the 50. Incomplete pass.
Looked like he could have run there, Kevin. Looked like he maybe could have run for the first down because the Cardinals lost containment to the quarterback's right side. When he rolled, I thought he maybe could have run, but that's not his strength.
Everyone was talking coming into the game about the Cardinal defense, and indeed it has been the Cardinal defense which has changed the game's momentum.
They have a better chance of scoring, I think, the Cardinals when they're on D than when they do on O.
Gardocki to punt. Patrick Robinson awaits at the 13. Oh, and the special teams for the Chicago Bears, one of the best groups in the NFL, and a tackle made by Vincent Smith, 55. Now to the Cardinals, and Jay Schrader have any offense left. 5:48 left. Cardinals down by 3. Trying to go for a spotless November. Buddy Ryan has won 2 straight. They've won 4 of 6, and the NFL on Fox has had few games of the playoff magnitude as this game today. Cardinals have got to win to have a realistic chance. Chicago's in first place. They want to hold on to that first place by themselves. 1st and 10 for Schrader. Here comes Trace Armstrong. There goes the incomplete pass. The pressure on the quarterback again.
This is something they did not have early in the year. Now the Bears are playing pass. This is the first series. The safeties are deep. Here's Trace Armstrong, pressure by himself. Joe Wolf beat him with a swim inside. But the secondary, that's the first time they said they're not going to run. We're no longer an 8-man front. We're a 7-man front. All safeties back for the pass. They're back again this down.
The defense may be called upon again, so they ready on the sideline. 2nd down and 10. Jay Schrader. The tight end, Chad Fan. And a gain of 8 to the 23. Maurice Douglas the stop. They got 2 to go for the first down.
And what a nice throw by Schrader. Good lead. He can throw that frozen rope. He can put that on a line, and it was a great throw by him. Stuck it right in there.
Clock ticking at 5:20. And oh, look at Seattle. By the way, Meyer is injured in that game, which is tied at 6. Denver watching Cincinnati come from behind. Here, Arizona has come from behind. They come to within 3. 3rd and 2. Look out for the blitz. First down pass completion to Chad Fan. He's to the 38. A gain of 16 on the play. Magnum made a big hit on Schrader.
Magnum, you cannot see. He's standing over the slot, and he's going to blitz. He's coming from the outside to left. You'll see him come hit the quarterback. There's Magnum off the slot. He just got it off. Chris Zorich dropped. The tackle dropped and almost picked it off.
Look at Mangum's hit on Schrader.
Wow. There's a guy that his daddy played for the Boston Patriots in the NFL.
High school coach down in Mississippi. First down and 10. Schrader hit by Armstrong. He gets away. Schrader almost picked off by Wolford again. He's already had 1. He's missed another, and he just about had his 2nd interception right there. Incomplete pass.
The Bears' front 4 has changed. Now we're looking at Trace Armstrong. Watch him. Roll down underneath. Beating Joe Wolf to the inside. Got the quarter. Only a good, strong quarterback could get away. Running for his life. And that's a 4-man rush.
It's 2nd down and 10. 4:16 left in the game. Larry centers. He needs to get to the 49. He gets to the 49. Let's see if they give him the first. Barry Minter makes the tackle, number 92. He'll be shy by probably half the length of the football.
Good call. 2nd and 10. Ran the draw, and the Bears are doing such a good job rushing, and your safeties are deep. The draw becomes a big factor. No safeties involved, and everybody rushing the quarterback. You going to run it here, Kevin, or are you going to throw it? It's 3rd and 2 chain links.
I'm running.
You're running.
What are you doing?
You can't run with the back offset like this. This has got to be a pass.
On that formation, 3rd down and 1. Yeah, they're going to run. It's Schrader on the quarterback keeper for a first down.
Nice job by the Cardinals. When he offset the back, the middle linebacker walked out with the back set over there.
Opened up the middle.
Opened up the quarterback draw. Nice job by the Cardinals. You can see he had to move over because that's his man, man to man. See him run after him? Nice job.
So a first down in the Cardinal offense, which has been quiet most of the day, beginning to make some noise late. Cardinals and Schrader trail by 3 in a must game for Arizona. 1st and 10. Schrader got away again. Larry Centers gets away. He loses 2 yards. Barry Minter finally makes the stop. I don't know how Schrader's escaping, but he's doing it.
The guy that caught the ball, Kevin, had to help block with Leuenberg. Had to help Redmond, the right guard. Watch the back. He's coming in there. Bang! See them hit him right there. But he hit him high. It was legal. Wasn't a chop block. They're trying to double. Albert Fontenot's coming in there so good. All of a sudden, the Bears got 4 guys that are coming.
Trying to get in field goal range. 2:15 clock ticking. We're in the 4th. Larry Centers in the backfield for Schrader. Pass dropped. Chad Vann, the tight end, covered by Maurice Douglas, who has had many good plays today.
Maurice Douglas, he's always involved in the big plays. You're gonna beat Detroit. Maurice Douglas has to do the job. One of the best nickel and special teams covered guys in the league. Out of Kentucky. Pull on that arm. He's even got the wrong arm, but pull on something.
The reason why they think he should be an all-pro player, speaking of Maurice Douglas, because not only has he played the great special teams, but he also plays more defense this year than ever before. So he's doing it both ways.
Plays in all the nickel situations.
Here's a 3rd and 12. Schrader from the shotgun. He escapes again. He's got Larry Centers for a first down for the Chicago 32. Gain of 15 on the play.
The defensive tackle, Kevin, came out and tried to clamp on Centers. They know Centers is the guy, and they're trying to trap him with a down lineman, and he still got away.
In a must game for Arizona, they're trying to knock off first place Chicago.
Is going to take his inside cut. A defensive tackle has only the close over. Here he comes, and bang him. Chris Zorich has got him. He gets away. That's the man. He still converts the 3rd down. Schrader's putting the ball in there, and you got to love the Bears. Look at that. Watch this. Don't we have him double? Yes, we do, coach.
First down and 10 for Arizona at the Chicago 34. Jay Schrader. Gary Clark. What a hit put on him in the backfield by Mark Carrier. Incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down.
Body bags. Women and children. Listen to this. This is why we're here. Hello.
Big hit by the former All-Pro Carrier. 2nd down 10. 1:52 left. Larry Centers to the 30. All right, Jerry, let's start talking field goal now because the clock continues to tick. Greg Davis, his career long, has been 55 yards. He's already kicked one today from 49.
Well, I believe that second down draw was the help with the field goal. Now, this third down, you got to say, don't take a sack. Don't do anything foolish.
Right now, if he kicked it, it would be about 47 yards. On this drive, Arizona is 3 of 3 on third down. They got it 3rd and 7 now. Schrader from the gun. He got it. Oh, he dropped the ball. Clark could not hold on. Incomplete pass. It's 4th down, and the Cardinals have one option. And again, Mark Carrier put a licking on Gary Clark.
Both nickel people are dogging, and both defensive tackles are dropping. You're watching some good stuff here today. This is not normal defense. He blitzed both people on the slot, and both defensive tackles dropped back in the zone, and the safety tried to knock him out.
This will be a 47-yard field goal to tie it. Holding Schrader. The snap from Randy Kirk. The wind at his back. 1:04 left. He got it. And we are tied with 58 seconds remaining.
The coach, Buddy Ryan, better buy him another guitar. He's got 14 guitars. Buddy Ryan better buy Greg Davis a new guitar. He wants a Martin, Buddy. He hit this. It wasn't sweet. It was kind of slow, wasn't it, Kevin? But she hung and she hung. Right now, the coach on the sideline is hollering, get air, you're in.
He kicked 4 field goals last week to beat Philadelphia. He's kicked 3 field goals today, and the third one, the big one, 47 yards away. We are tied. Oh, the Cardinals think they've got it. They blasted the kickoff off of Bob Christian, number 44. And like last week when Chicago kicked the onside against Detroit, Dave Wanstead has been bitten by his own trickery. Terry Irving has recovered the kick, and Buddy Ryan comes up with a little trickery of his own. The clock at 49 seconds. They tried to blast it. It was not an onside kick. They tried to blast it, and Christian got in the way of the kickoff. It ricocheted off his chest. He fell on it. He lost it. The Cardinals recovered it. It's as good as an onside kick. The Cardinals have the ball. 55 seconds on the 4th quarter clock.
He was just trying to keep it on the ground so they wouldn't get a long kickoff return, and it just ricocheted right off of Bob Christian and came right back to him.
Does the Chicago defense have about a minute of defense left in them to get this game to overtime? And does the Phoenix offense, the Cardinal offense here, have anything in them? Can they continue their momentum?
They got 3 timeouts left.
Ricky Prohl with the reception. Gain of 5. Make it a gain of 6 to the 45. And a timeout taken. The first Arizona timeout today.
They're down to 2 timeouts, so they got those to work with. And we know if they get to the 30. Now, if you're in the Chicago Bears, all they got to do is get to the 30-yard line. That's your end zone.
Dave Wanstead and the Bears trying to hold on to their lone possession of first place. Field goal on the ensuing kickoff. They blasted it in, not meaning really to hit anybody up front, but it got Bob Christian on the foot and ricocheted back, and the Cardinals got it. As good as an onside kick. Here's 2nd down and 4. Schrader from the gun from his own 45. Schrader, first down reception made by Gary Clark inside the Chicago 39. Gain of 16 on the play. Arizona has 2 timeouts remaining, and they take their second right there. They need to get near the 30-yard line. Right now, they're at the 39. We're tied.
The starting right guard did not run down the field. They may not use a timeout. As a lineman, you got to hurry up and get set. Anthony Redney, I think he's suffering from oxygen fatigue. You got to get him going.
36 seconds left. Schrader from the gun, first down and 10. Pass caught on the play. Larry centers. First down to the 27. Flag thrown on the play. Back at the 47-yard line.
Holding number 68. 10 yards. Repeat first down.
On right tackle Joe Wolf.
That absolutely kills you. You got the ball at the 27-yard line. You're in field goal range. You're going to win the game. And he's the right tackle. They call it on Joe Wolf, number 68. Blocking on Trace Armstrong. Now, you can clamp down if you do a rip. If the arm comes underneath on a rip, you're allowed to clamp down on it. So he must have called the other hand, had him in the back of the jersey.
In a must game for the Arizona Cardinals with Atlanta's win today, the Cardinals need a win. Buddy Ryan turned this the biggest game of the season with the penalty, 1st and 20. And from the gun, Schrader. Incomplete, looking for Gary Clark.
A 3-man rush, a prevent defense. With the penalty, the Bears got in a total prevent, trying to do anything to get into overtime.
24 seconds remaining. Greg Davis has had one big-time overtime kick this season, a game-winning kick against Pittsburgh, 51-yarder. Beat the Steelers. And this is a team in Arizona that has played 2 overtime games this year and is 2-0. They've won them both in Washington and against Pittsburgh. 2nd down and 20. Schrader. They've got to get to the 31. Incomplete pass. Looking for Brian Reeves.
The Bears are not running conventional defense. This is a 3-man rush. He's going to go in there. This nose tackle is going to come out and play man with all the 8-man zone behind it. Here comes the nose tackle. Lock him up. Lock him up. Make the quarterback get away. Oh, see, if he'd have thrown it to that back, he could have run for field goal right there, Kevin.
Jerry, how big is that penalty now on Wolf, huh?
Yeah, they're getting bigger than that. You're down at the 27-yard line.
He should have had the reception. Now 3rd down. 20 to go. 16 seconds on the 4th quarter clock, and we are tied. Oh, it hit the man in motion. It's a loose fumble and recovered by the Cardinals. Brian Reeves was in motion when it was snapped, and now the Cardinals have got a punt. Or will the clock run out? The clock will run out. No one is stopping it.
Don't call timeout, buddy. You got to punt it. Come on, buddy.
No time is on the clock, and supposedly time in regulation has expired.
The shotgun, the center's not responsible for the motion. He hits him right in the hip. Did not have that timed up. Ed Cunningham on the snap. We're in overtime.
We are in overtime right now. And so that means that the coin toss will be done here in just a few seconds. They'll have the 1 15-minute quarter. 2 timeouts per team. The first team to score will win. Now, Chicago has not played any overtime games this year. Lifetime, they are 9-9 in overtime. And Buddy Ryan's team has gone 2-0 in overtime in his first season with the Arizona Cardinals. Greg Davis, who may be called upon, number 5, and Eric Hill will meet with the men from the Chicago Bears. Andy Heck, Trace Armstrong.
Okay, who's going to call a toss? Please call it while it's in the air.
Tails.
Tails he calls.
It's heads.
It's a head.
It's heads.
Which goalie was this in? Over this way.
So the Cardinals will get it first. We're in overtime in Phoenix. Buddy Ryan and the Cardinals have come back to tie Chicago at 16 apiece. Arizona came back with 10 points in the 4th quarter. The big interception by Keith McCants off Chicago quarterback Steve Walsh. And then a field goal of 47 yards by the Cardinals tied this game at 16-16. 3rd overtime game of the season for the Cardinals, the first of the year for the Bears. Chicago alone in first place. Minnesota lost today. Can they hold on to lone possession of first place? The kick to Chuck Leavy. Chuck Levy. It's by Gardocki, the kicker, and takes it to the 45. Robert Green makes the stop. A return of 31 yards by the rookie.
What nice effort. It's unusual you see a number 4 returning kicks. That's usually a quarterback or somebody like that. He did a great job. He hurdled a man, got all over him. Now here's your offensive coordinator talking to Schrader, coming with the plan. Will they come with 3 wideouts, or will they go back and try to run the football?
Coach Atkins, the offensive coordinator. Some people have wondered if he actually is calling the calls here. Is he making the offensive plays? Does he check with the coach? Obviously he does. We just saw the conversation right there.
I just saw Buddy come over and say, what'd you call? It better be what I wanted.
First down and 10. The Cardinals and Bears in overtime and tied at 16. Schrader to Larry Centers. He's trying to find his center of gravity after being knocked off balance. Albert Fontenot took a nice whack at him, and the interior of the line is there with the stop and a loss of about a yard.
The Bears defense. Who tackled this? Who tackled this guy? Watch everybody run and chase, and both defenses are playing this way. You're getting your money's worth. Watch the right shirts. Come on, Bears. He got loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in the frame. That's what you want to do when you play football.
Second down and a long 10. Kroll is 87. Schrader to go to the air to Ricky Kroll. He needs to get to the 45. He's got a first down to the 43. Gain of 12 on the play.
Excellent job by Schrader. Good pressure by Trace Armstrong. And he just stepped up. This guy's a winner. Watch Trace come. Joe Wolf trying to hold him out, push him by. Nice run after the catch, Kevin.
It's about as good as I've seen this Arizona offense run all season.
You know what? They got 3 wide receivers. They're throwing on first down. Let's go on and play. You want to take chances on your offense? Do it like you do your defense. Give both sides a chance to be a little wide open.
Schrader has thrown the ball 41 times today for just under 200 yards. On first and 10, Larry Centers. Armstrong got a hold of his jersey and tore him down. Gale finished him off.
Centers is going to be exactly like the Chicago Bears backs tomorrow. The defenses are hit. They're going to be tired. You talk about get me in the whirlpool and bring the water right up to my Adam's apple, because I got to soak everything. They have earned every yard. All the backs today have earned every yard they've gotten.
But the momentum of the game, Jerry, was captured by the Arizona defense.
Scoring on defense is like a 14-point turnaround.
Second down, 7 for Schrader. Kroll again on the move. The blitz is on. And they get it to the tight end, Chad Fan. Only gets a couple yards, chopped down by Sean Gale.
Very big tackle by Sean Gale, because all he had to do is maybe get to the 34, and he came in and he hit him low and got him down. A big-time tackle by Sean. You got to remember, the Bears' goal line is the 33, 34-yard line.
Good point. Because the way Greg Davis can kick, and he can kick. That is what they're working right now. Stay tuned for the naming of the Miller Lite Player of the Game. Schrader must be a contestant in that. Defense of Chicago has played a role. 3rd and 5. Clark dropped it again. Lincoln was there with the defense. Jeremy Lincoln. And he's a bit shaken up.
All pressure coming. They ran a blitz. They still came after him. You got to love the Bears. They came from the quarterback's left, but the Cardinals picked everybody up.
Wow, nice play by 39 Lincoln.
2 weeks ago, he wasn't able to play. He had that shoulder injury.
It's 4th down and about 6. And the Cardinals and Jeff Fiegels will punt. He's great getting the ball inside the 20. Second in the NFC and getting it inside the 20.
They were just 3 yards away from trying a field goal.
Big defensive stand by the Chicago Bears. And the punt by Fiegels. Does it stay in? I think he got it in the end zone. Close. Very close. 38-yard punt. Now what's going through Steve Walsh's mind? He's thrown a couple interceptions, the last one of which was returned 45 yards for an Arizona touchdown.
Punt, interception for a TD, punt. That's your last three plays, 9 plays, 3 plays. I wouldn't change anything. The Bears have taken the ball. They moved. I wouldn't change one thing from what they've been doing all day.
What Dave Wannstedt told us last night, patience will be the key for us against the Cardinals.
And don't allow a turnover, and of course the turnover changed the game.
Walsh has struggled of late, 3 of 11. Most recently through the air, and some play action to begin things for Steve Walsh. Threw it nicely out of bounds. That may be the one big difference between him and Kramer. Kramer may have tried to force that in there, but Walsh, who is a very cerebral quarterback, has done that about 3 or 4 times today.
Had the counter bootleg. He looked. The Cardinals playing man-to-man have taken away that short pass. He didn't panic. He wasn't afraid. He just said, nothing's here. I'm throwing it out of bounds. And then he got hit a little bit on the end, a little bit late.
Walsh is a starter, 6-0 for Chicago. Can he hold on to that spotless record? 2nd down and 10. Walsh, McMurtry to the 26, and a gain of 6. And Eric Hill was there.
One thing about the Cardinals, they don't believe the Bears are going to pass. They're still in an 8-man front, 1 deep, everybody crowded. There's Eric Hill. You think he had a good game today?
Yes. I think he played well. That defense played well.
He's got that Band-Aid on his nose that the bowlers used to have to put on their thumb. If you bowl every day, your thumb would fall off. He's got a bowler's thumb's Band-Aid.
Walsh with the 3rd and 4. We're in overtime and time. Walsh. What a catch on the far side by Graham. A first down to the 32, but a flag thrown on the play. A flag on the near sideline at the 31. That was as good a catch as you're going to see in the NFL.
We've been diagramming things the Bears are doing. Well, the Cardinals had a blitz peel. That means you start in the blitz.
Illegal use of hands to the face, number 45 of the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Well, there is no 45 on defense. Maybe they mean 35, and that would be Aeneas Williams.
The Cardinals will be blitzing, and the back swings out, and the blitz stops, and he swings out and covers. There's 59, Seth Joyner.
Look at that catch.
Wow, what a catch.
Today, Jeff Graham, the former Steelers, 7 catches, 110 yards. 1st and 10, Chicago. Lewis Tillman to the 34. Clyde Simmons.
Earlier in the season, as Kansas City won that one 31-28, but always a pleasure to watch a couple of future Hall of Famers, Joe Montana and John Elway. We know Joe Montana was hurt today, injured left ankle, but if he's back, Elway and Montana going at it, doesn't get much better than that.
A little confusion on who's supposed to be in.
Broncos need a couple of yards here to keep this drive going. It's 3rd and 2. Elway will let as much time run off on the clock, and indeed the play clock expires with 1:15. Or he might have taken a timeout right before it did expire.
Yeah, he took it out right before the watch the clock. Like I said, right now they've just got to run as much time off. They don't want to let Blake get a hold of that ball again. He's been kind of erratic. It's not like he's been dominating on offense, but he has the ability to make those big plays, and he has the receivers that can make the big plays also.
Broncos, after the 0-4 start, they're able to hang on to this one. Will have won 6 out of their last 8. They haven't been very impressive, a lot of them, but nonetheless, they win this crucial 3-game homestand, beating Seattle, Atlanta, and now Cincinnati if they're able to hold on. But the test on the road will be the make-or-break portion of Broncos' season. And here's a reminder that following the game on most of these stations, it's an all-new earth.
Because of the blitz pickup, great blitz pickup. Here's Todd Perry, a brand new guy in the offensive line. They slid the line down and picked up the blitz. Watch the left guard. They got him all. They got him on the ground.
64-yard pickup by Graham. His 8th reception today. 175 yards. Lewis Tillman on first down. To the 18-yard line. Eric Hill was there.
And Terry Hogue saved the 3rd touchdown of the game. That was a touchdown on the long pass to Graham, and Terry Hogue saved that again. That's 3 plays we've seen today where it was a touchdown that he saved. Now remember, the Bears are in field goal range now, Kevin. They just got to get it lined up and kick it.
Kevin Butler readies on the sideline as Walsh faces 2nd down and 7. McMurtry is on the move. And so is Lewis Tillman. He's inside the 15, and they've got to get to the 11 for the first down. And the overtime clock gets 7.5 minutes. And Kevin Butler, who has in his career 3 game-winning field goals, they will waste no more time.
You have to do it on 3rd down in case you get a bad snap. You don't have to kick it, and you kick it on 4th down. The reason you kick on 3rd, if the holder doesn't like it, he just crawls over the ball. It's got to be a good snap. Otherwise, they'll kick it again the next time.
32 yards to win the game for the Chicago Bears and for sole possession of first place in the Central. And there was movement on the line. There's Danny Abramowitz. That was just to the left of Dave Wanstedt. It's against Arizona.
For the snap, encroachment, number 63 of the defense. 5 yards, first down.
A first down at the 10. Do you waste more time or do you just kick it?
You're close enough now, you line up and kick it. Your same rule you say the holder. If the ball's on the ground, if the ball's too high, get the ball and lay on it, and we got more downs. We'll come back and kick it the next time.
Minnesota lost today. If Chicago gets this field goal from Butler, they've got an 8-4 record, and they're alone in first place in the Central. It is now a 27-yard field goal. Lewinberg the snap, Gardocki the hold, the kick from Butler. Chicago wins it. The Chicago Bears have sole possession of first place in the NFC Central. They win their first post-Thanksgiving road game since 1987. They go undefeated in the month of November. For the Arizona Cardinals, they dropped to 5-7. They controlled their own destiny heading into today, but with Atlanta winning, the Cardinals now must hope and pray that somebody else gives them a helping hand as they strive for the playoffs.